I would like to call to order the November 19th City Council meeting. Jackie, will you please call the roll?
Oh, we got to do the president.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Why do I keep skipping that step the last two meetings?
They were
How about
ready.
Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
No, this is your first meeting. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, Jackie, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Evans,
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish.
Here.
Mr. Velardo,
Here.
Mr. Price,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Ms. Cooper,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain.
I have a motion to excuse Ms. Chamberlain.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
All right, we are going to start the meeting with a public hearing, so I will turn it over to Mr. Pacheco.
All right, let me give the reading of the notice here. On October 1st, well, let me make sure. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 15.72, the City of Milford City Council is holding a public hearing at the City of Milford City Hall, 745 Center Street, Milford, Ohio, 45150. This public hearing will take place at the regular meeting of the City of Milford City Council, and the purpose of the public hearing will be to consider adopting an ordinance approving a contract between Union Township and the City of Milford to create a joint economic development district. A copy of the text of this contract, together with a description of the proposed district, including a map of the subject area in sufficient detail to denote the specific boundaries of the proposed JED area, along with any zoning restrictions or classifications applicable to the area being added, the economic development plan, including a schedule for the collection of the income tax contemplated under this section, and other relevant documentation provided in accordance with Section 715.72A, have been and are available for public inspection in the Office of the Clerk of the City Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, 745 Center Street, Milford, Ohio, 45150 during daily business hours, and have been available during the statutory requirement. And this legal notice, for the record, was published on October 7th, 2024. Correct, Ms. Bain?
That is correct.
Thank you. So we are complying with the public hearing requirements by statute right now to discuss the JED. Let me just give you the rules very simply, is that if you are addressing only on this topic, there'll be a time later to discuss any general council members, but this is just on the JED. And the chair will open it up, allow you to speak, and we don't need to worry about swearing them in. Other than that, it's just run it like a regular public hearing. Thank you.
So are there any members from the public that wish to comment on the JED? All right, seeing none,
Move to close it.
move to close the special meeting,
So moved.
public hearing?
Second.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
All right, that takes us to proceedings. Do I have a motion to approve the council meeting proceedings from the November 7th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish.
Yes.
And financial statements. Do I have a motion to receive the October 2024 finance report?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes.
All right, that takes us to public comments. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address council or make a comment? All right, seeing none, that takes us to our committee of the whole meeting. So we're going to meet as a committee. So I'd like to you call the order, I guess, Jackie, for that meeting?
Ms. Evans,
Here.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes. Here.
Mr. Velardo,
Here.
Mr. Price,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Ms. Cooper.
Here.
All right, I assume we still have no public comments, so we are going to discuss the purchase of a truck for the water department.
I would like our city manager to kind of give a synopsis of where we are with this truck and how we got to here.
Yeah, thank you. We all heard Joe, when he made his presentation several weeks ago, talk about the dire need of a dump truck. And there was a lot of discussion back and forth. In fact, this is clear back in August, the first time I actually came here. We were borrowing trucks and trying to get another department to help out. We're pulling equipment that's too heavy for the truck itself, and it's created issues. So Joe started looking around and found what he believed to be a great used dump truck, and a price range that would save us tens of thousands of dollars if we would actually purchase it. And so he did some follow-up on it, looked into it. Of course, the pictures all looked nice, but, you know, I told him I was very uncomfortable without him seeing it in person and test driving it. He actually is I wish he was here, but he's at a seminar this week, and he was about 45 minutes from where the truck was located. Made arrangements to go there. And when he left here, the purchase price for that truck was in the 120s, and he got a hold of me yesterday and said, hey, we did what you talked about, and I negotiated, and we're at 115. I asked him, and Jackie and I both tried to reach out to him. For whatever reason, we haven't heard back, so must be busy with what he's doing there. I wanted to have a little bit of more information about who the folks are that have the truck listed and some of that stuff. I do not have that in front of me, but he is very comfortable. He's told them verbally that if council gives the authorization this evening for the city manager to carry through, then he will let him know immediately, and that we would start the pursuit of purchasing that particular dump truck. He said it was everything that he thought it was, and he said it drove.
Get him on the phone, and he had talked about the truck, but correct me if I'm wrong, it's a 2024 or 2023, but it only has 4,000 miles on it. The company had bought it for a large project that they anticipated the need for. They don't have that need for that, so that's why they're selling it. But that same truck new is probably, I think we started pricing them somewhere in the well in excess of $200,000. So it came up, and again, I applaud John for pushing forward on this from the standpoint that in the long run, it's going to save us potentially over $100,000 and fulfill a need that I think, and Lisa was in that committee meeting when we first talked about it, but we were basically having our service members use something they really shouldn't have ever been using. So it's certainly a need, not just a want, in my opinion.
Yes, any other questions about it? Is anyone prepared to make the motion?
I would gladly make that motion, that we purchase the truck. Do we
On there.
just need to put it at 115,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that we draft an ordinance to purchase the truck for the city water department.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes. All right. So I guess we need to close the committee of the whole meeting.
Right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole meeting?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price? Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Okay, back to our regularly scheduled meeting. Standing committee reports, we have the city manager report, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll go quickly on a couple things. Just a few things going on from the office. Working with the law director regarding public records requests, some personnel matter, things that we needed to discuss, sidewalk issues, the new manager's contract, things of that nature. Appreciate your help, Brian. You're very, very helpful, and you respond very quickly when I reach out.
Thank you.
Pat and I have certainly got to know each other in finance. In particular, this week we're working coverage on office with the retirement of one of her employees, continuing to work on the budget, also trying to get the vacant position, job description out there, posting, and so on and so forth. So I appreciate Pat's time with that. We've really gotten to know each other of recent. Enjoyed lunch with the law director. I don't know how this worked out, but I'd like to point out that, Ralph, that he did buy lunch.
You owe a lot of people some lunches, that's all I got to say.
It's funny because John's called alligator for some reason when it came out.
You just can't get it out there. Okay, sorry. And then, actually, Pat had mentioned during our finance meeting earlier, or budget meeting rather, that we met with one of the councilmen and Ralph, and had a good meeting, and got some questions answered and helped us, one of the things that helped put some of the things in place this evening. Had a, as we always do, Mayor Evans and I met, and we went through updates for the city and just bring her up to speed on all the different things going on, whether it be for the new city manager or personnel matters, things of that nature. Always appreciate that as well, Mayor. We had a Records Commission meeting we attended, went to Salt and Light Wellness Ribbon Cutting on Locust Street. We had 4 people from the city go. The mayor provided the proclamation. It's nice business, 202 Locust, if you have interest and can make time to get there. And a couple other things, Administrative Services Committee meeting November 21st at 5:30. And a couple reminders, thank you, Jackie. November 28th and 29th, city offices closed for Thanksgiving. The 29th, Hometown for Holidays tree lighting ceremony at 5 Points Landing at 7 p.m. And December 3rd council meeting will be the next one at 7 p.m. and our new city manager will be sworn in at that time.
All right, thank you very much. That takes us to Chief Mills. He's ready to go.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. I don't have a formal report, but I did want to report a couple of items. I had the honor last week of swearing in Scott Doofman, a retired Mason police lieutenant, as an auxiliary officer. So just to be clear, that's an unpaid volunteer position, but Scott brings a plethora of experience, mostly in instructing, so he's going to be part of our training team. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the son of the late Stanley Doofman, who retired as police chief in 1999.
Speak more to the mic, please, sir.
Thank you. Also want to,
I don't think it's on.
okay. Also want to publicly thank the Kiwanis Club at last night's meeting. They donated the proceeds from Oktoberfest, $2,500, to the Milford Police Community Partnership, which, as you know, funds all of our outreach projects throughout the year, and also gave us their annual contribution of their Random Act of Kindness cards. So big thanks to the Kiwanis Club. They're a great partner for us. And that's all I have, unless you have some questions.
Question? All right, thank you, Chief.
Hey, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, that takes us to Fire and EMS. And who's coming up? There's a lot of them back there. Chief Perry.
Too many chiefs.
Just a few things. Reminder that Santa Sunday in Milford will be Sunday, December 22nd, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 6 o'clock when we finish up. And we'll have to post on social media about that. Our ambulance remount is on schedule. It came out of the paint shop. Looks really good. There's some pictures posted, and I will send them along with the weekly report later this week. It's still on schedule to be delivered, to be ready by the middle of December. And finally, I just want to acknowledge and pay respect to Fire Chief Steve Jonesfield from Terrace Park. Many of you probably know Chief Jonesfield died last Wednesday after suffering a medical event earlier in the month. There's going to be a public visitation this coming Monday in Terrace Park, and funeral is private. And Milford Community Fire Department has offered all assistance that they would need for that day. I would imagine we're going to probably end up covering their area. I think the Honor Guard is going to be helping out with some portion of it as well. But, he was we have a very special relationship with Terrace Park, have for years. predates me, and Steve was a great guy. He's going to be very, very missed in the Terrace Park community, not just because of him being the fire chief, but the roots ran deep in the community and was involved in a lot of activities, and it's just a tragic situation. And so our thoughts go out to Steve's family and Terrace Park Emergency Services and Terrace Park community. So, any questions for me? Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much. That takes us to council comments. Does anyone from council have a comment?
And I apologize for, and Chief, you don't, Mills, you don't have to necessarily come up, but I'd gotten an email, and I don't know if it was copied, and I'll share it, from a resident up on Stone Ridge. We've had some conversations, and I know, reached out to Jackie, so probably need to have a safety services meeting sooner than later. The question is about speeding
Yeah, I
on
wanna
Stone
hear.
Ridge, and whether or not there are some things they can do. Some of it has to do with their HOA. Someone had put out some signs that was in violation of their HOA. So anyway, that's just something that I'd asked Chief Mills about this, and we put speed signs up there, but they don't collect any data, so we don't, so that's similar to what we've done on Wallace Avenue and talked about on Wallace Avenue, so that's just something that I think sooner than later, or after our new city manager gets here, that we can reconvene. And I just ask that those people be patient, and that we will certainly address it, or at least discuss it at some point. On a very positive note, or a fun note, I want to give a warm welcome out to Doug Ackerman. He's a local Milford person who is now Milford's new treasurer for the school system. Doug and his family used to own Lear's Meats, and he's been in Lockland, but I just think you have a person, we don't do a lot with the schools, but we obviously all benefit from great schools in the community, and I just want to publicly welcome Doug Ackerman back to the Milford area. So,
Right. Jackie, I did have one question. I know we've talked about before the Main and Lila corridor project. Have we ever decided, like, is our old engineering company still doing that project, or did it get turned over to our new engineering company? And can we schedule a meeting?
I believe that our new engineer company is going to move forward with that.
Okay. Because I know during budget time, there were some questions about
Thank you
what
for bringing that
the
up.
project entailed, so if we can set up a meeting.
Or a pavement study or something like that. I
That was
spoke to
part of it,
somebody
too.
today from
but
TEC.
I think
Yeah.
some of the thing is, I believe some things might have been taken out of it unbeknownst to all of us,
Right.
that while you're doing that project probably shouldn't have come out, and so it's
Yeah,
just.
so we just need to
yeah.
see the exact details of the project, what's gonna be done, what was taken out.
Scheduled meeting.
Yes, which whatever committee, I guess, we
Mhm.
can.
Mhm.
Or even have them come present the project to council as a whole.
That would
I've
be
never seen it.
great.
I think it
Yeah.
would.
That might be
like that.
better.
I-
Maybe not the third, but maybe the because we have a lot going on the third, maybe
Yeah.
the
The
next
second
following
meeting
meeting,
in December.
maybe.
When is
Okay.
the time frame on that I don't remember.
I'm not sure that either. It's
Yeah.
been so long.
Yeah.
I can have them come and present. I know they have information from the former
Yes,
company
yes,
that they're reviewing now,
okay.
and for future projects, they.
If we have to do it the third because of a timeline, that's fine, but
Mhm.
if it's not that huge, a big of a
Mhm.
hurry, we could
I
wait till the
can-
second meeting, that might be best.
I can
Right.
ask if
See what
they're
their schedule
available
is.
to present to council.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd just like to, and the chief's struggles with the microphone reminded me,
Yes.
to my colleagues on council, I would really like for us to look into a technology refresh for council chambers,
Amen.
because our
Yes.
microphones need fixed. We don't have the ability for people from the public to see presentations. We could maybe put a monitor behind the mayor here. I'm tired of seeing falling down microphones and people having problems getting their voices heard over the air or to the public in general. So I really think that's something that we as council should look into.
Yeah, talk about budgeting and IT and all that, that goes right along with that, so, thank you very much. It's probably probably off again, but nobody else is gonna comment, so we're good.
Do you want to make a comment?
He doesn't have a problem making comments. He doesn't have any problem making comments.
Okay, Mr. Parrish,
Yes, I would like to make a motion to move into executive session pursuant to and in accordance with Section 3.052 of the Milford City Charter to consider the purchase of property, both real and personal, tangible or intangible, or to consider the sale of property, either real or personal, by competitive bid if disclosure of the information would give a competitive advantage to the other side by Division G2 of Section 121.22 of the revised code.
second?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes. And we are not gonna return, we're going to return to adjourn only. So we're gonna go to executive session, come back, we'll adjourn only. So if you need things signed, people in the audience, we can do that before you go. And that's it.